Hello guys, good morning. Let's start with the domain 1 for CISSP. The domain 1 is for security and risk management. This domain is further divided into the chapters. So the first chapter, the first topic, that will be security governance through principle and policies. So let's start it. The first is CIA. Let's talk about CIA in the next slide. This is the CIA triad. CIA stands for confidentiality and integrity and availability. Triads mean those who works in a groups. Okay, so what is actually the confidentiality here? Let's understand the first thing in the CIA triad. The first is how confidential your data is, and what is the integrity of your data. Integrity assure that data cannot be modified in unauthorized manner. We will talk about availability is information should be readily available for the authorized user. So let's talk about these three. Confidentiality here is data, object and resource must be protected from unauthorized access while storage in process and transit. So confidential is, let's understand, this is a company server, and these are the users, or these are the laptops or computers who are connected to the server, and this is another one, and here is the another one. So there are 5 computers connected here, and who is having access and who does not have access. Let's understand, the green and blue is having access, so they too can access the server. But these other 3 cannot access the server. So the confidential of data for those who cannot access it, so we should have some confidentiality, we should some authentications on that. So these 3 user cannot access and these 2 user can access the data. So that is called confidentiality. Countermeasure include encryption and support the principle for least leverage. So one thing we can also do is, like, we can protect our data, our server here, with the help of password or encryptions of data. So even they try to access it some another way, they cannot, because the data is encrypted. Next thing is integrity. What is integrity? Integrity is like there are user number 1 and there is a user number 2. User 1 is sending him 500 USD and he received 1500. That's actually not the question. The question here is he is sending 500, he should receive the 500 only. So the concept here is the data going from the PC1 should same reach to the PC2, because they have a hash value. So PC2 will match the hash value with the sender, and then only it confirm the data is, it's not tampered, because it can be tampered in middle, in between, by the internet user or anyone in the network. So integrity is object must retain their authenticity, means it can be tampered, must be intent as it is. So what are the countermeasures here? We can use hashing technique. So example here is, I owe you 500, one is telling to the second PC, I owe you 1500, so we need to calculate hash to origin the availability. So PC1 here is sending to PC2 any kind of data, it is not only the money, but when PC1 will send to PC2, PC2 will check the hashing algorithm with the 1. If it match, that means data is not tampered, and then data is fine. Next, third thing is availability. Availability is, now you have a server over here and there are the users who access this server, those who have access. Okay, now this server is down, so they cannot access any services. So we should make sure that our server should be available 24/7. for the users. So there are some kind of attack, like there is a DOS attack, is the very common attack where they can where the hacker can keep sending a packet to the server and put it down, so user cannot get access to the server. So we have to use some countermeasures, that is called putting firewall and router to prevent DOS attack, and maintaining and testing backup system. Another attack is a hard disk drive theft, but we have a backup. So somebody gain access to the server room and have a access to the hard drive, and he can actually steal your hard drive. So you should have at least a backup of it. Thank you very much.